What's up, everybody? Mark Fleetwood here. Welcome back to the Daily Grind Trader. Today, you see I'm not on my Twitter. I'm on the Twitter of the Silverback, Silverback Crypto. Check him out. And the reason why I'm on his Twitter right now is because today's video is going to be like a DGT and friends. I'm going to go over a couple different coins, a couple different potential scenarios. And I really want to shout out to Silverback because he brought up a specific way to do TA that I used immediately and found success with immediately. So I've got to share it too. And I'm not going to share it without giving the proper thanks to the one and only, the Silverback. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to tell you all about it. All right, guys, you know the drill. You know the drill. I got to keep saying it because at the time I don't, I'll get in trouble for it. But I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I enjoy doing technical analysis. I do it publicly. I do it out in the open. And hopefully you can learn something from it or pick up a small detail the same way I just picked up a small detail from Silverback. So we're going to go right into that. That's going to be the first thing I go over. So I'm going to look at VET. Now, VET's current price action. Now, we have been monitoring this. We saw this big break up out of the descending wedge. This descending wedge broke. We came up. Now, here's what's interesting. This is where Silverback's analysis, or Silverback's, I don't even know what to call it. It's a new drawing method, is what I'm going to say. We got up and we start making this ascending triangle. I'm going to move this out of the way. And we start to make this ascending triangle here, you know, bull flag, bull pennant, whatever you want to call it, but it's a nice ascending triangle. But I overlaid it with a parallel channel, because you can see that the bottom of the support here from the first touch of the ascending triangle was also on this parallel channel. So as the price went up, and support held, and resistance held, and support held, it broke out. It touched my target. This is where I sold. My first target, my first sell target, because you see here, historical support resistance line. That was my target to sell. I sold. But when it went to kind of reconfirm, when it went to confirm the breakout, it did not. It went through. And then it went through the support from the wedge, or from the ascending triangle. It went through that support, retested, and broke through. Now here, once this wicked down and started to come back up and it got back into here, I was able to buy this back because I knew this was support, because I left the parallel channel here on top. I knew that this would be, or had the potential to be, a strong support line, because this is where the pattern started. This is where the down pressure stopped. And then we start making the bull flag, or the ascending triangle, whatever you want to call it. We start making the bullish pattern after this support was hit. Now we came all the way back through it. We came all the way back through, wicked out of it, and then went right back into it. And once it went in and retested this bottom, I was able to get back in near the bottom of here and push all the way back up. Sold again. Now I'm looking to see if we can break this out and break through this price line and get into a new level of support resistance, which at this point would be probably up here around 13.5 cents. This would be the next line of strong support resistance, around 13.5 cents for VET, before then pushing, you know, to 15 and then going all the way back to like all-time high levels. But the next line of support resistance would be 13 and some change. And these don't all have to be like really strong support resistance lines. They're just areas for you to be cognizant of and be aware of. Because I think once it really starts to roll, and once once alts really take off, these small lines here, like this line of support resistance, won't be a big deal. You know, 13.5, 15.5, 17, up until all-time high, really won't be that big of a deal once alt season really takes off. But it was something I really want to showcase for this video. And if nothing more, you know, Silverback's great at TA. And you should check his channel out too, Silverback Crypto. And B, I was able to use it almost immediately after he kind of unveiled this. I think it was a week ago, last week, in one of his videos. And he kind of showed this, and I was like, man, that's really interesting. And I was able to almost immediately take it, use it, make money off of it. So that's something for you guys. You know, that's the hope of these videos. And I'm sure, you know, for Silverback, that's the hope for his videos, is that you take the TA and you learn from it and you make money off of it yourself. You don't ask him or I where to buy, where to sell, what to do. You take the knowledge and you take the ability to make your own drawings and you run with that. So with that being said, guys, I've got a couple of things, other things to look at. So VET right now is currently in a small bull flag, probably easier to see on the hourly. You see it came up and the resistance is now gone because Binance charting sucks. But there was that resistance line here and it's bull flagging now. And if it comes down to the point where it gets back into this channel, I expected it, if it gets into this channel again, it's going to touch bottom again. That's my expectation now, is that it will get, if it gets back in here, it'll touch bottom again. And potentially short down, or just wait for as low as I can get it and buy it back up. Simple as that. But right now, it looks like we might be able to break out of this bull flag. So we're going to take a look at Shiba, because Shiba I talked about last night, and this pattern looked really, really strong until it didn't. Like, it looked really good coming in to say, hey, we would touch bottom and jam up and then we'll be out of here, because initially I thought it was more along this line and then it broke through really quickly. But kind of looking at it now, if I redraw just a little bit, it definitely came out. Like, it definitely broke out the bottom, but it didn't hit this line of support. That this would be my my stop loss for support on Shiba right now. If I were in this trade, if I tried to buy this support, my stop loss would be here. This would be the next level of support, where if it breaks down through here, that's it, that's game over. But it looks like it's going to pick up. It looks like we have some bullish momentum again. This is on the 4-hour time frame. It's on the 4-hour time frame. I'm gonna move my lines here. Looking at the Arun index, the bulls are coming up, the bears are coming down. And it looks like we could have a bullish cross relatively soon. Looks like the bullish cross 15th at 4 a.m. So the cross would happen between midnight and 4 a.m. And I think this one here at midnight is the hourly candle, or the hourly bullish cross would come, or the hourly, oh no, that changed. The bulls sprang down on that, so I'm going to remove this because this is no longer in play, at least not for that time frame. But for the 4-hour, the 4-hour is definitely still in play. They have a bullish cross here between midnight and 4 a.m. to where there could be some really good price action, to where this circle here is where this breakout needs to happen. It needs to happen in this time frame, so that the price is going to go, or it's going to reject and it's going to come back down. And this is where I would be at a stop loss. So 25.46 on the price. I don't even know how you would call that. 4 zeros, 25.46. That would be my stop loss there. And this is my first line of taking profit. It's the first resistance, and if it goes beyond that, then the next profit line is gone. The next profit line would be around, I think it was roughly like 630 to 640 would be the next profit line for this. If it goes beyond this one, it goes beyond the breakout range. But so yeah, that's Shiba. Shiba again hit kind of rough there. It really kind of really dove down, like right after I made the video, which really sucks because it really looks kind of shitty when that happens. But the RSI, the MACD is like really small, condensed sideways. It could move, it could break any way quickly. The RSI is in a good spot to rise. Daily, the RSI is still high. Technically, daily is still overbought. But with a rise like this, the overbought on the daily could still have more room to go. I'm going to take a look at this pattern. I'm going to say that this is a bullish pattern still. And I'm going to say there's still a good potential for breakout, even though we are technically in the overbought position on the daily chart. I think it's coming back down. It's around 70. It's right around 70 now, but it definitely spiked up. It could come down. It could break out downward, but I really think that this goes and makes another move towards this resistance line. Now, Bitcoin here. Bitcoin looked like it was breaking out earlier, a couple hours ago. It looked like it was going to break out, and it dipped right back into its bull flag. So again, you got this downward wedge, just this flag pattern. And that's about all I have today, because I haven't really done enough research on FTM or FIL. There's a coins that I've been looking at, but see FTM. Oh, wow, that got really bright. Let me see if I can kind of darken this up. Can I go in night mode? There we go. Sorry about that. But FTM is in a downward. It's in a descending triangle, which I'm not too fond of, because descending triangles can break down, but it's a bull entrance. So it's a a bullish entrance on the way up. So it's definitely something I'm watching on. It's a coin worth keeping your eye on. I'm expecting one more bottom touch here. I'm looking for this this support right around $2, $1.97 to $2 to hold one more time, and then the potential is for a nice solid upward break. If it's going to break down, I believe this next touch is where it would happen. It would break through here on the fifth touch, or sorry, the third bottom touch would break out down. I don't believe it goes back up and then fakes, but who knows? At this point, it's a watch. It's just I'm watching this. I like the way this looks so far, even though I'm not totally sold on descending triangles, but coming in from a bullish scenario, coming from the bottom, typically will run up, but definitely worth looking at, definitely worth keeping an eye on. And FIL, this on the 4 hour, it looks like it broke out of a little bit of a downward wedge here, but it's really kind of broke out and it's sitting sideways, so I'm not really too keen on it. Also, this level here is a level of resistance I'm seeing. There's resistance here, a resistance here, go back, it was resistance back here. Plus, it would cross the much larger scale, the much larger trend line. So it would have to break this main trend line here to have a really strong breakout from that smaller wedge. So this one I think is an out for me. I think it kind of goes sideways and then gets closer. It might build up here for a while. It might build up along this line and then attack this secondary or this primary resistance. But until that does, this range here, I don't like it. It could reject off of this and come right back down. So it's not something I'm looking at for a long-term hold, but definitely still watching it for this longer resistance line, this longer primary resistance, because once this breaks, then it's kind of a big potential to go parabolic, to go a big rise after this long downtrend. This downward pressure gets broken. Once this trend line gets broken, then it's kind of all bets are off and you can go in. So that's it, guys. That's it for today. Been a little bit longer than typical, but just trying to get as much information out there as possible. Give you some ideas of some of my trades that I've made, because I don't typically talk about my own trades. I just give ideas and I give things I'm looking at and watching. But this is one where I talked about a trade I made and talking about getting ideas from others and making sure, I want to make sure that once I have an idea that I've received from somebody else to give them credit for. So Silverback, thank you. And as always, guys, until next time, peace.